Hey YouTube, this is Stardust 200 and I finally did it. After promising since probably Age of Overlord, I finally actually got the time to actually update my Pendulum Magician deck and, here to record the video and to give you a profile that I've been promising for quite a while now. Just a lot of things happen and I want to make sure I give you a good deck profile. Plus also I kind of went to locals on my last one and I got my butt whooped at the Phantom Knight sneak peek, so I kind of want to make changes, and then of course the new ban list. So a lot of things happen and I want to change the deck, and also now since Baron and Borlord Savage Dragon that we actually did use in the deck is gone, I had to make some adjustments, so I finally have it. I think this is the build I kind of like. And yes, also I noticed my last preview, because I do read the comments, I noticed someone actually said where's the hand traps. I'm going to actually be showing you my side deck where I actually have the hand traps. Normally I don't show off the side deck because, every time you go to locals, there's different decks being played, maybe more than others. Maybe you have more of a casual locals where more people play rogue decks, or maybe you have a competitive locals where a lot of people play. So that's why I kind of do it, but I'm going to do it for this one. I'm actually going to show you guys my side deck for the new format, to help out with all the new stuff, 10 by dragons, maybe Vanadium, whatever deck you encounter. I feel like this is it. Anyways, enough of me talking about that, and let's actually go into the deck profile that I've been promising for so long. Also, this is a 43 card. My last deck was actually a 40 card, so I kind of added some new cards to it. Anyways, so also, before I go into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because I have a special thing I'm going to do once I reach 550 subscribers. My goal is to reach 550 subscribers before the end of the year. When I do hit that, I actually will be doing a giveaway of whatever booster box is out at the time. So, let's say in 2 weeks I reach 550 subscribers, I'll be giving away a Legacy of Destruction box. If not, if Infinite Forbidden, I think that's the next after, is out, then it would be that box. So whatever box is at, I'll be giving away to one of you lucky people, and yes, you do have to subscribe for it, as a thank you, and to celebrate reaching my goal of 550, but also as a thank you for, you guys' support, watching my videos, commenting, liking, just, enjoying my content. I just want to give back to you guys and say, hey, thank you for, showing your support. And also as a celebration for me reaching my 550 subscriber goal. Anyways, enough about that. Let's go into the deck profile. Alright, so first of all, this is actually a card I used to have in this deck, took it out, and then now I'm back in it because, Baron's gone, is 3 Servant Endymion. So pretty much what you use this card is to get Jackal King, because Jackal King is actually a monster negator, and it protects you from getting nibbed. That's pretty much what Baron used to do. You used to go into Baron first, so then your opponent can just nib you, because this deck, yes, it can hurt when you get nibbed. Also, it's a decent skill too. You can use it if you have to, if you don't get Wolf Dragon on the field, but mainly you're going to try to get this out, build counters, get Jackal King out as fast as possible, but also, besides stopping Nibiru, you can actually stop any other monster effects or stuff. Like, you can actually get out past your turn, and then if your opponent has like a very important monster effect that, lets you search something, you can just stop it. So, really good card. Mainly to get Jackal King, so then you can protect yourself from getting Nibiru. Next up, we have our Stratos deck. Perform Power, Scroll about Joker. So pretty much all you use this is, it's your only normal summon. You just normal summon, and then you can add a Pendulum monster. So let's say if you're missing part of your scale, so let's say if you have a scale 8 but you don't have a scale 2, this they can search it. Or if you do have a scale 2 and 8 but you don't have your Harmonizing Magician, you can normal summon this, add Harmonizing, and then you can go into your Synchro or Ring 4 plays. But yeah, that's pretty much all you use it for. You can use it for a scale 8. I don't really use it as a scale 8. I just, normal summon it and search whenever. This is actually a card that gets Ash Blossom the most, actually. Next up, a card I'm surprised that hasn't touched the ban list at all is Harmonizing Magician. So this is your level 4 tuner. So whenever it's Pendulum summon, you can actually bring out any pretty much Magician monster. What I used to do back when we used to have Baron, I used to summon Wolf Dragon and then go into Baron the Flare, since 4 and 6 equals 10. But now, since you don't have to, you mostly only use it, go into your level 8 Synchros, or you can actually special summon level 4 and go into your Ring 4 plays. Also, you can use it as a scale, because it does have a special effect where for heavy whatever. So let's say if you want to go for game but you don't have enough attack or enough damage to do so. This thing can actually give your monsters, your Pendulum monsters, a little boost. I think it gives them, let's see, 300? No, it gives them 100 attack for every Pendulum monster in your extra deck. Magician? Yeah, Pendulum Magician cards. So let's say if you have like 2 or 3, it just gives your monsters, all your monsters, a boost. So sometimes you can use it as extra, but mainly you just use it for your Synchro and your Rank 8 plays. Next up, we play Double Iris Magician. So this is your primary skill 8, so this is the one you always want to have in your skill if possible. But also what makes this card super cool is that when it's destroyed, you can actually search your star graph or your time graph. So it works really well with, star graph because, actually it searches those cards. But yeah, this card's just, super good for searching those important cards that you need. Like say, you need to get rid of a threat, you can pop this and then get time graph so then you can deal with the threat, or if you just want more searchability, you can actually pop it and get star pendulum graph. But yeah, this actually works super well with Electromite. Sadly, we don't have Electromite, but we have other cards, to pop it. Plus, it can actually pop itself and turn a dark spellcaster monster into a odd-eyes pendulum dragon. So sometimes you might have a dark spellcaster, uses the effect, pop it, and then you can add time or star graph. But yeah, this is your primary skill 8. Of course, it works super well with Electromite, but we don't have Electromite. Next up, we have Super Purple Poison. So this is, you can use it as a skill 1 if you want to, but you don't really have to. But it's super fun when you do use it because you can actually target a dark spellcaster monster and it gains 12,000 attack. And then of course, it would destroy this card. But the fun pack is when this card is destroyed, you can actually target a card on the field and destroy it. So this card is super fun to use with Time Pendulum because Time Pendulum actually destroys your own card. So it makes Time Pendulum into too much. You can get rid of 2 cards pretty much. And also it's super fun when your opponent doesn't read your cards and they attack you, and then you can activate this and give your monster an extra attack. Or if you're going for a game but you don't have enough attack power, you can actually use her to power up your spellcaster, so then you can do a lot more damage. And of course, like I said, it's a level 4, so sometimes you're going to be special summoning it with harmonizing, so you go into your level 8 synchros and your rank 4 plays. But yeah, I love this card. Really fun. And of course, like I said, we have a Demian, we have 2 Jackal Kings. It's pretty much, you get 2 spell counters and then you can negate a monster effect. So it's the thing you get out to protect yourself against Nibiru, or you can stop any other card effects too. So let's say your opponent's, I don't think, well, some people play Cyber Dragons, but let's say your opponent activates Cyber Dragon Core, you can just, negate it and stuff. So it's pretty much good for just negating any problematic monster effects. And of course, for this deck, Nibiru. But you can also probably negate Ash, you can, all that other stuff, whatever you need to negate at the time. Then we have 2 Elf Dragons. I actually used to have this at 3 because, like I said, when you use Harmonizing and especially summons the monster, like the level 4, it actually banishes it. So that's why I like to play 3. So then I still have 2, while the other one, of course, is banished and goes to Baron de Fleur. But now, since Baron's bad, I decide to drop this back to 2. But this is your primary skill 2. Also, what makes this great, so when it's in the skill, it actually lets you recycle your Pendulum monsters from your extracts. Since we're still in Master Rule 4, it's kind of good to actually add your cards back to your hand. And also with Harmonizing Magician, if you guys don't know, Harmonizing Magician cannot actually be pendulum summoned from the extract. So pretty much this is your card to recycle Harmonizing Magician. So let's say you're a pendulum summon, you use Harmonizing, go into level 8 Synchro, connect to his effect, add Harmonizing back to your hand, so you have it for a follow-up play to do, more Exceed summons or, or Synchro summons. But yes, this is a super good card to let you just recycle your pretty much your resources back into your hand so you can do more stuff with those cards. And it's your primary skill too. Next up, we play 2 Black Fangs. This one is also, like I said, you can use it as a skill 8 if you have to, but mostly you're just going to be special summoning from Harmonizing Magician to go into your level 8 synchros and rank 4s. Every once in a while you can actually use its pendant effect. What it does is pretty much turns into like a XYZ Dark Rebellion, where it just halves one of your opponent's monsters and it destroys itself. But mainly I just use it for, synchro plays and stuff, and every once in a while I do use it as a skill 8 if I can get my hands on Double Iris Magician. Next up, we play 2 Wizard Eye Magician. This is a super fun card because it actually helps you fix your scales. So let's say if you have 3 skill 8s and no lower scales, you can actually put Double Iris in your 1 scale and then put this in another scale, activate its effect, it pops it, and then you can switch it with Elf Dragon pretty automatically. now you have a scale 2 and you have a scale 8. And what the fun part is, let's say if you draw both of these cards, it's not once per turn. So you can put one Wisdom Eye in one scale, one Wisdom Eye in the other scale, activate the first Wisdom Eye, get your scale 2, activate the other Wisdom Eye, and get your scale 8. It's super fun. I found this out when I was playing Master Duel. That's not once per turn. So it's a super fun card. And also, yeah, you can special summon Harmonizing Magician, but, you know, Harmonizing, well, most of the cards you do, I mean, you can go to, like, Ring Force and stuff, but sometimes Harmonizing Magician, or this one, you don't really use too much, but you can use it. But mostly you use it for its scale abilities to let you, go into your perfect scales. Next up, we play one Astrograph, of course, good card. Whenever a card's destroyed, and yes, you do destroy your cards a lot, you can special summon so it gets a body on the field so you can do your link plays. And also, whatever cards are destroyed that turn, you can add turn. So let's say if you destroyed Wisdom Eye, you destroyed a double Iris Magician, you can special it out and then you can add either or. So whatever one that you want back, you can add it back. And you can use it for a scale 1, but mainly you just use it to get the free body on the board. And it's one of my favorite collectors I ever owned, actually. I still need to get 2 more from my Ademian and my Odd Eyes. Next, we'll play Profound Celestial Magician. So, yeah, this can be used as a skill if you need to, but the main thing you use it for is that you Pendulum summon it, and then you can actually add a Pendulum monster at the end phase. Also, what's kind of cool, I don't really use the other effects too much, not really the fusion, but if you have an Exceed monster on the field, he actually gains 3,000 attack points, and if you control a Synchro monster, it pretty much, like, I think it negates your opponent's card. Let me see. I don't really use the Synchro much. Synchro, your opponent cannot activate monster effects, so pretty much it stops your opponent from activating monster effects. But mainly you just use it so then you can add a Pendulum monster at the end of your turn, at the end of your end phase to your hand. And of course, every once in a while you can use it as your scale 8, and also you can, special out with Harmonizing Magician if you need to. And for our one-ofs, or our last several one-ofs, play one Chronograph and one Time. So, I've been kind of playing, well, actually Master Duel, this is only limited to the 1, and after playing with it, I kind of like it at 1, I used to have it at 3, but sometimes it's just, I don't know, I don't like to have it because it's actually not a magician, so it doesn't really work with the other magicians like Wisdom Eye. You have to control another magician in the other, scale to actually use its effect, so that's kind of why. I mean, you can use it as a scale 8, but I only like to play 1 because, I mean, I'm only playing one Time Gazer Magician anyways. But yeah, this is pretty much, what I feel comfortable at. I'm kind of glad I dropped down to 3 because, I don't know, I don't really use that card too much. I just use it to special summon Time Gazer so then I can start doing my Link Praise, go into Beyond. Well, if we get Electromite, then Electromite. Anyways, enough about the monsters. Now let's go into the spells. And this is the thing I learned since going to locals because I lost, I lost a lot of games that day. So, the reason why is hand traps, mostly Droll and Lockbird. So, I decided to tech in some stuff. I finally got my hands on a playset of these because this is a really good card because a lot of decks, including the new decks like Tempai Dragons, are playing hand traps like no tomorrow. So, this is like the extra 3 cards I added to the deck to actually, combat that in the way. And also, I found this actually works well with other cards. If your opponent doesn't hand trap you but answer a monster effect, it still works. Next up, we play 2 Dual Slant. This card searches any of your Pendulum cards, and also Odd Eye, Double Iris Magician. I was going to say Odd Eye, sounded like wrong deck. But this is, Double Iris Magician. This can search your Pendulum Call. This can search your Time Pendulum Graph, and I think your Star Pendulum Graph. But yeah, this card's your pretty much searcher. The only requirements that you have to have a Pendulum Monster in your scale to do so. But yeah, this is to get whatever card that you're missing. So let's say if you have Star Graph, but you don't have Time Graph, it's going to search it. Or if you don't have Star Graph, you can actually get Time Graph. Or let's say you just need your Pendulum Call to get your your 2 scales. Let's say if you already have Harmonizing, this thing can search it. But yeah, this is just your normal, this is like the Rhoda of the deck pretty much. Next up, of course, since we're just talking about, is Pendulum Call. This is a really fun card because it actually protects your scales from being destroyed. And a lot of times on Master Duel, when I play this card, my opponent would just play Harpy's Feather Duster, and nothing happens because, it protects it. But also, this card really works well with Time Pendulum Graph because once I get to Time Pendulum Graph, I'll explain more, but this card is freaking awesome. And like I said too, with Duelist Alliance, this card actually can search the skills that you're missing. So if you need that skill 2 or skill 8, you can search it, or you just need one skill and then Harmonize the Magician and can search it for you. And like I said, it actually protects your cards from being destroyed by your opponent's cards. So your opponent can't Lightning Storm it, your opponent can't Heartbeat's Feather Duster. It protects it for like one turn. And now, since we do play Endymion, this is just so you can get Servant of Endymion, so then you can go to Jackal King. Plus also, if you already have one in the graveyard, it can actually add additional counters onto, whatever monster on the field that has counters. So if you already have a Jackal King, you can put more counters onto it. Or if you still want a Jackal King, you can put counters on Servant of Endymion. Next up, we play 2-star Pendragraph. So this card pretty much just lets you search magicians when they're destroyed, and since you destroy a lot of your cards in the deck, like Wizard Mind, Double Iris, Purple Poison, pretty much a lot of your cards get destroyed. Or whenever a card's destroyed, you can actually search it. So this actually works really well with Time Pendragraph, because Time Pendragraph actually destroys your card, so you can search it. Also, this works super well with Electromite, but like I said, Electromite is banned, and we do not have it. But I hope we can get it to at least 1, I hope, someday. And our only flood deck, we got 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because we have Spellcasters, so why not? Also, it's fun to slow down your opponent, definitely with their spell-focused deck like Sky Strikers. And of course, since, we play a field spell, Terraforming to search it. And Hand Traps, Called By. I wish this was at 2 or 3, but we only have 1, but Hand Traps. That's pretty much all I need to explain for this card. You can stop Droll Lockboard. Or Ash Blossom. And our only trap is 2 Time Pendragraph. So this card works super well with Pendulum Call, because you can actually target one of your cards, destroy it, and then target one of your opponent's monsters, destroy it. But if one card's not destroyed, you can actually send a card. So what happens when you play Pendulum Call, since Pendulum Call protects your monster from being destroyed, you get a free pop, and then you can send a card. So any card that can't be destroyed by like battle or some sort, you can just send it with its other effects. So in a way, Pendulum Call turns this into like a removal of 2, where you can get rid of 2 problems, or you can get rid of a spell card and then send a monster away or something like that. But yeah, this card is super well with Pendulum Call, and works well with Star Pendragraph, because whenever you pop your cards, you can actually search. So this card, super awesome. I love it. Alright, now on to our extra deck. We have Time Star Magician. So this is a card you make if you need to. I don't really make it too much, but it's a good way if you have to end on it, so you can actually add a magician from either your graveyard, extra deck, or deck to your hand. So it's a good way, just in case if you want follow-up, you can add Harmonizing to your hand, so then you're ready for next turn. And also it works well if you have to, have a spellcast turn and field to have Secret Village online and active. Next up, we have Abyss Dweller to deal with any pesky effects that are activating for the graveyard. We have Castiel, good card, just to bounce back any threat we have to. And also it's a good card from Duelist Alliance era, a long time ago. Supreme King, this is one of my favorite cards. I'm super sad that Konami did not print it as a super in Maze of Millennia, but, what can you do? Hopefully someday they can print it as a super. But this card's super awesome because it can run out everything. And also I love it when your opponent doesn't read the card and they attack into it. It's so fun to see on Master Duel, but what it does is that you can detach one XYZ material from it, and then it turns your opponent's monsters to 0. Sorry about that. Turns your opponent's monsters to 0, and then it gains the attack point. So it pretty much can run over any card that you have to. So if you have a threat, or if you're going for game, this card's the one to do it. Then we have Time Thief Redoer. It's a good card. Just, I used to use it before, actually. I think I had it in the previous... No, I took it out, but it's been in and out of the deck. It's just a good card to into if you can't really build anything too big, because it actually takes your opponent's cards, plus also it can dip out and come back. So if your opponent plays like Lightning Storm or something, you can chain it so it disappears and then it comes back later on. But super fun card to use. I definitely like it where you can actually take your opponent's hand traps. I have done that in Master Duel where I actually took my opponent's Ash Blossom, so it's kind of fun. And also, it gives you a little insight what deck your opponent might be playing, because depending on the card that you take. So it's always good to gain a little knowledge on that. And now, a new card I did not use, but I see a lot of Pendulum Magician players use it, is Ignister, because this card is kind of like Castiel, but a little more better because it actually doesn't target this one actually, and also this card actually destroys your own cards, and like I said, you kind of want to destroy your own cards because, you know, you get effects off a star, pentagraph, and other stuff. And of course, you can destroy your double iris to get search. But yeah, this is super card because you can destroy your own card, and then you can actually not target, but you can send a card back and shuffle it back into the deck. So you can get rid of any threat that you have to. But yes, I actually never used to use this card, but then I thought about that because, you know, this is one of the replacements for Baron de Fleur or World Celeste Dragon. So I kind of want to try out, so I'm going to have to buy a higher rarity card than my rare. But yeah, I'm excited to test out that card. And then, of course, we have Beals. I used to use this card back then when I first built this deck, but pretty much you just use it because it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's just a pain in the butt for your opponent to deal with. I am debating on either putting Sapphire and Omega in here or putting Scarlet or Dragon, but for now, I'm going to stick with this because, you know, 3000 attack is pretty good, and can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so it makes it a little more harder to get rid of it. And another good card that I wish was a super rare that also came out as a rare and made Zillennia as a rare it already was is Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. This is a fun card. It's like Black Rose Dragon. When you secret summon it, it just destroys the whole field. So if you have to go for the clear OTK, this card's the way to do it because I love it when you summon it and then blow up all your opponent's monsters and then is full-on attack. But yeah, this is one of my favorite cards. I'm sad I did not get a super rare. And then for our Link monster, we got Pulsa. This is pretty much our only Omni Negate left, but we can do it. And, you know, it's a Pulsa. It's good. I can get up to like 16,000 attack points. I think so. And, you know, that's 2 negates right there, so, you know, good enough. And then, of course, you know, to go for game endings, we have Axis Kotaker. You know, always good for, you know, ending games and also getting rid of cards if you have to use it. And then, of course, the new card that came out from Age of Overlord, Exceed the Pendulum. To me, I actually like this way better than Selene because you don't have to rely on spell counters to actually, you know, make sure you can get that extra monster on the field so you can go into your Apulsa or Axis Kotaker. This one, to me, is kind of like a Heavy Venomous Electromite and a Selene, because when it's Link Summoned, you can actually add a Pendulum monster from your deck face up to your extra deck. And then you can actually add one of those cards back to your hand, and then you can actually special summon it. So then you have this Link 3 and then the extra monster, and then you can do your Link 4 plays. So you can go to Axis Kotaker, or you can go into Apulsa. But yeah, to me, this is like a Electromite and a Selene put together, but I feel like it's a lot better than Selene because you don't have to rely on the spell counters, because with Selene, you have to play a certain amount of spells, it gets counters, but sometimes you might not have enough spells, so then you don't get all the counters that you need to actually get the, you know, the last monster to field to go into your Link 4. But super fun. I am kind of glad I got a super instead of a higher printing like Beyond the Pendulum, because if you guys watch this channel, that was a pain in the butt to get. Next up, we play Nightmare Unicorn. It's pretty much like Castiel, you know, target card, shuffle back, plus the really good Link 3 if you have to climb up. Then we play IP Masquerano. This card, of course, you know, you make your Link 2 like Beyond Pendulum or Nightmare stuff, and then you leave this on the board. Then when it comes to your opponent's turn, you activate the effect and go into your Pulsal, so then now your opponent has to deal with the Pulsal during their turn. So pretty much that's what you use it for. And then we got Beyond the Pendulum. This is like one of your starter cards. Technically, this is like the Electromite, where you have to make this first before you Pendulum summon. That's the important part. You have to make this before your Pendulum, because if you already Pendulum, it negates all your effects on the field. So what this card does, play 12,000 life points, search a Pendulum monster. So pretty much just lets you search whatever card you need. And yes, you can use this other effect where if you do Pendulum summon in the Link arrows it points to, you can actually target 2 cards and destroy them. Next up, we have Nightmare Phoenix. So this is a good back row removal if you have to. But if Electromite ever comes back, I'm probably going to replace this with Electromite. Now for the side deck, since apparently this is actually a really popular card right now in this format, and of course if people don't respect it enough, we play 3 Nibiru to deal with any of those combo decks. So it's pretty much just a big rock, completely wipes out the board. But here, right now, this format is a really good card, so I decided to put 3 in here. And then we put 3 Ash Blossoms here, because, you know, Ash Blossom, their normal You can't, you know, oh, I activate this to search that. No, you don't, pretty much. But yeah, 3 Ash Blossom because, you know, Ash Blossom is the definition of a hand trap, or what started the definition of hand trap, in my opinion. 2 Drone Lockboard. Even though this card really hurts this deck, it's a good card. Any deck that searches a lot, Drone Lockboard just shuts it down. This is the card that I lost to when I went to locals for Phantom Nightmare. And since no more Barons, Borrowsword Dragon, not Borrowsword Dragon, Borrowload Savage Dragon, or Baron, Board Breakers are back. So, to deal with those pesky boards, I put in 3 Lightning Storms, because now we don't have to worry about it being negated by a Baron DeFleur or a Borrowload Savage Dragon. So, it's always good to blow up either the back row or, you know, blow up their main field and then try to go for game from there. If you're going second, of course. And then 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because there's some pesky cards like a certain field spell and Tempai Dragons that should, you know, get removed immediately as you can. So, a good way. And also, if you ever need to go against Labyrinth, this is pretty good too. Against any trap deck, pretty much. And then, of course, back row, deal with trap decks, of course. And then, of course, a Regeki, just so you can blow up their field and try to go for a game from there. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this deck provo. Like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure you subscribe. Definitely if you want to see, you know, be there for the giveaway when I reach 550 subscribers. And also, if you want to see more future content, definitely subscribe if you want to see more deck profiles, pack openings, live streams. I hope when I, you know, decide to actually want to do live streams again, hopefully, you know, you be there for that. And also, don't forget to click the bell icon so whenever I do those stuff, you'll be notified straight away. And also like the video, because it actually really does help out the video a lot. And comment down below if actually you guys are enjoying the new format there, or if you act also like me who enjoy pendulums. Anyways, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell icon. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.